Congresswoman, you said in a recent Vanity Fair piece that you knew that this would be a vibes election. The vibes are horrible, but isn't this what people wanted?
I don't think so. I mean, this is a matter of people being overwhelmed with trying to make sure that they could take care of their families, whether it was keeping a roof over their head, food on the table, or keeping their kids going at school, right? And when things feel a little bad, it always ends up reflecting on the current administration. And so until we get to the point that we start to tell people exactly what goes into the cost of food, what goes into the cost of gas and things like that, and understand who can do what, we're going to continue to see this cycle of, if I don't like the price of something, I'm going to blame the president and hope that if I vote for somebody opposite of the party that's in power, that everything will be fixed. And I got news for you. It is not going to go in the direction that he promised.
Okay, so I want to talk about how we move forward. I want to talk about branding and messaging as Democrats. But I did want to note that you also said in that same Vanity Fair article, because the economy is important for all of us, regardless of what your party affiliation is. But you said, look, folks that voted for him said the following, quote, well, I'll just take a shot with Trump. He may be an asshole. He may be racist, but I could afford my apartment. So now hopefully I'll be able to afford it again. I mean, I just played the quote from Trump where he's like, well, maybe the grocery prices, I can't control them, so I can't be able to bring them down.
Yeah, listen, I just had to speak yesterday in Ohio. And one of the things that I told people is that we need to spend the next 2, 4, 6, 10 years really talking about what it is that government does and what it is that we don't do. We need to start educating people. The more educated people were about what it is that we as government could do, the better they were able to make their choices, right? And so here it is, at least we had a candidate that would look at the price gouging that takes place with those at the top and say, you know what, you guys are just price gouging. This isn't inflation. This is greed. And guess what? We're going to go after you. Have you heard those types of words come out of Trump? Absolutely not. In fact, when we talk about grocery prices, one of the things that came out a little towards the end of the campaign was that a Kroger executive admitted that they have been price gouging. Listen, we still have a lot of people out here that are greedy because that's the country that we live in. And guess what? The greediest folk in America are now going to be the ones that are going to be running America, because he has decided that the millionaires and billionaires who were investing millions of dollars into his campaign, guess what? They're going to be the ones, regardless of their qualifications, that are going to run the government. But I can tell you one thing. I am going to push back and fight every single day that I can, because my constituents cannot afford to have billionaires telling them that they don't deserve their Social Security that they've paid into. 20% of my district live at or below poverty. And I know that they voted for the right candidate, whether it was me or whether it was Kamala Harris. My district got it right. So I'm going to do my part.
So let's talk about having people like you on House Judiciary, House Oversight. Let's talk about making those committees even more aggressive. There is nothing wrong or shameful by taking a page out of a good playbook that works. And one of those pages from the Republicans is having a level of an aggressive posture when it comes to making sure that the truth is delivered and that the lies don't obfuscate what is the reality for so many Americans.
Yeah, so right now we just got our ratios. Leader Jeffries just sent those out, so we know what the ratios are going to be on the committees. So that gives me an idea of my chances of potentially getting onto Judiciary. I am a permanent member of Oversight, but I am trying to get over to Judiciary and continue to serve with Jamie Raskin as my leader. And so with that, all the bad bills, for those that don't know, what comes to Judiciary is anything from immigration to civil rights issues to LGBTQ issues. It's going to actually be some copyright and infringement issues, almost anything, gun control issues, all those things are going to come through there. And obviously, we're going to have the criminal justice issues that will come through that committee. And so, yes, I wanted to be on Judiciary my first term. I am trying for Judiciary again. And obviously, I feel as if working under Jamie Raskin has only made me a better member of Congress. But let me tell you, we are going to have to fight back and fight back hard, because that is where the bills are going to come out of. The vast majority of the bills are going to come through that committee. And, they may be able to get them out. But the one thing that I want to do is make sure that I beat up on them and make sure that the truth of those bills comes out, regardless of what the daggone title of the bill is going to be. I need people to understand this is nothing more than a target on your back, and this is going to hurt you, your friends, and your family.
We get some more vitamin B6 coming from you. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you for getting us started today, my friend. It is good to see you. I'll see